We're all right?
Yeah.
We're going?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to try this.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jason and Ethan back again. Yes. And what that means is that I'm making Ethan record this for me because I have no idea how to do it. Correct?
That is
Really? Why not? What part is incorrect?
I said
Oh,
correct.
oh, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Sorry.
So came up with an idea. If you play D&D, if you are a DM, you have a DM's binder, right? Like every DM must have a DM's binder, especially once you're past a session or two. You're gonna have things that you don't want to look up in the book that you want easy access to when you're at the game table, and so you're gonna start a DM's binder. My DM's binder got too full. I have to strip some things out of it, but I thought before I start stripping things out of my DM binder, I thought it'd be cool to show because maybe people would be interested in seeing what's in my DM's binder. Yours may be different, but like I like seeing what other people have in their DM binders because I get ideas or I find out about things I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Sound reasonable?
It sounds reasonable to me.
So this book is only here as a prop because what's underneath it is the DM binder. But it starts off highly embarrassing because what I did a long, long time ago is I tried to print this on a black and white printer, and it obviously did not work. But I ended up sticking it in my binder anyway because I used so much black ink I couldn't bear to throw it away. So it looks terrible, but there it is. And it's a 2-inch binder. Forget about the box underneath it. It's just a random box. And you can see it's extremely full. Too full. So I think what I'm going to do is some of the stuff that's in this binder, I find things, I stick it in the binder, stuff that I think is interesting, stuff that I can use at the game table. But some of the things, what I think I'm going to strip out of this binder to make it not this full, and I'm going to start a second binder, is all of the stuff that I put in here for our solo campaign. Like I put stuff in here, and we'll take a look, but I put stuff in here for like town generation, and I put some guides in here for solo gaming. I'll take those out. Other than that, then I'm really going to be in trouble because if my binder, and it probably will continue to grow, I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll have to carry around 2 DM binders. I don't know. But anyway, here's what's in my DM binder. If you don't know, I've been running an AD&D game since August of 2025. Today is June 16th?
Yeah.
June 16th, 2026 is today's date. So I bring this to all my games, and there's stuff in here that I use or that I want to have in case I need. So I will go through and show you what's in my DM binder, and I have it up on a box so that it's a little closer to the camera, but you probably won't be able to see everything. But here we go. Okay, so front pocket, I have adventure logs. I found these online. They're just one front. I don't know who made it. A lot of things in here I found on the internet, in blogs, on itch.io, free stuff on drive-thru, free stuff on posted on various websites, on forums and Discord. I found this stuff all over the place. So anyway, adventure log, I fill these out after the session's over, and then I put this is just the blank ones, and then I keep a few of them in my binder, and then when I have it filled out, I stick it in the back pocket, which we'll get to, and the back pocket is all the filled out adventure logs for all of my sessions. And I like this one because I can just squeeze 10 players in here. I've seen some where it just doesn't give you enough room to write the number of characters, but I need I have up to 10 players at my sessions, so I can, there's 8 lines, and then I can squeeze one below and one above. I write a synopsis in here. If I run out of room, I flip it over and I start writing on the back. Section for the monsters, experience points. There's a place here to mark off turns. I don't use this. I use a spiral binder to keep notes, track, the hit points of all the party's opponents in battle, and how many turns are going by. I just make slash marks to mark off turns. So I do all that during each session, but I don't use this until after the session's over. Then I take my notes and I put it all onto one of these, so I have a nice clean copy. And I put the session number, the session date. I put the campaign calendar date, or dates, because our last session went through like 7 campaign game days. Anyway, I do all that here. Treasure, if they find a big hoard treasure and I have to flip it over to the other page, other side, that's why I do it. Okay, so I've got my adventure logs. I have graph paper that I can just hand to the players, just blank graph paper. I can just hand it to the players if they want to map a dungeon or something else. I also have hex. Where is it all? I have hex paper again, so that. Is that upside down? No. So this would be like a 30-mile hex with 3-mile hexes inside of it. And I like to do it that way. I know a lot of people do 5-mile hexes. I just like 3-mile hexes. And I don't know where I got this stuff, but here's again, so you could take these hexes and fit them in here, or just take several of these pages. But these pages let you mark, okay, there's a town in this hex, there's a cave in this hex, and you can make notes on the side, so I like these. And then, again, just more hex paper at the back. So hex paper, graph paper to hand to the players if they decide to map. It would be nice if the players would bring their own. But I've got a lot of new players, and the way I run, you can just come, sit down, and grab a pre-gen and start playing. Even if you don't have dice, I've got extra dice, I've got extra pencils, I've got everything. Yeah. I prefer a player to show up with some hex paper and some paper and a pencil and some dice, and I would prefer a player to take the time to actually roll up a character, but if you've never played the game before, you can come and sit at my table and just pick pre-gens. These are all pre-gens. Oh, no, these are not all pre-gens. Hold on. These are pre-gens. Okay. These are pre-gens. These are blank character sheets that I can just hand out to my players. If they pick a pre-gen, or if they're rolling a character at the table, I just keep a bunch of blank character sheets. These were made by a guy named Kenny Marshall, who goes by the name Irk online. I really like them. There's a million AD&D character sheets out there. I just like this one. But there's a lot of good ones. So, okay, so I keep a stack of character sheets. I think I have 6 of them here. And then I have just tons of pre-gens. Pre-gens. I take out any half-orcs, and I take out any evil alignment, and I take out any assassins. I don't want new players running evil characters in my campaign. But anyway, I got a ton of pre-gens, and I just, someone shows up without a character, your character dies, and you don't have a character ready to go. I just hand them this stack of pre-gens. They can pick one, they can change the name, and they can just roll. I generate these off of EOTB's Osric website, and this is one that Ethan just rolled off and didn't just to use as a pre-gen for me. He did it as a favor to me. I don't think it's even complete. And then I've got some that were created by other dungeon masters. This one actually, these come from Mark Teormino. This came from pre-gens that were created by a dungeon master I used to play with online a long time ago. Anyway, wherever I can get them, pre-gens. I have a stack of pre-gens that I keep. Okay, So getting into it. The first section, game reference stuff is the first section, like direct game reference stuff. So I start off with my AD&D encounter sequence. We've talked about this before. I put a link to this up in the comment section of one of our previous videos, and I think I posted it on Discord too at some point. Anyway, I took the entire encounter sequence and put it into 2 facing pages so that I can see every step, because I was forgetting to like roll morale. I was forgetting to roll for surprise. I was forgetting to stop to see if anybody was going to parlay before fighting started. Yeah, and also it's hard to remember like distance, encounter distances. So I've got it all here. Surprise, encounter distance, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but here's my compilation of all the rules, because in the DMG they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Across multiple pages. Here, every time there's an encounter, I can look here and make sure that I don't forget any steps in an encounter. Okay, so starting out, so after that, I've got DM screens. Lots of people over the years have posted DM screens online, have made their own. There's also official, I think, 2 official versions of the AD&D DM screen. Well, it might be 3 actually. There was a 3-panel, and then there was a 4-panel, and then they went back, and then they had a different one a little later on in the 80s. So there's probably 3 anyway, I printed, so I've got all the combat tables. I've got everything. I've got the saving throw tables. I've got the items. I've got morale, loyalty, and morale. But then I got DM screens created by other people on the internet. So I don't even know how many DM screens are here, but I've got here's an Osric DM screen somebody made. It's just stuff that I found on the internet, and some of it has things that there might be one DM screen that has something that the other one doesn't have. I don't know. Maybe I'm obsessive. I could probably pull most of these out. But, yeah, I've just got tons of DM screens in here with all the tables, saving throws, psionics I don't need. Yeah, okay, gonna keep going. Okay, then I don't know why. I can't, so I should take this out. This is not something I can reference at the table, but this is Addict. If you've been around AD&D for a while, you know what Addict is. It's DM Prada, Dave Prada. He went through... In many, many pages, he made step-by-step of like a combat round. However, it's I need to pull this out of here. This will be one of the things I pull out. He puts down the page numbers in the book of every place where he found all these steps for combat for AD&D. But look at how big it is. It's 20 pages. It's 20 pages. There's no way you can go through all this every time somebody swings a sword at the table. It's impossible. You can't use this to reference. You can use it as a learning tool, but you can't use it to reference. Also, the entire encounter sequence isn't in here. Like, okay, it starts off with surprise, but if I remember right, like some of it is not... Like, for example, for multiple attacks, some of it's not correct. Like, the book says that if you have multiple attacks, then your second, third attack, whatever happens at the end of the combat round. But here he's got like the second attack happening in the middle of the combat round. And so some of the things in here are not correct, but still really, really cool. Should I just rip it out now or come back to it later? I'll rip it out now. Hold on. Okay, so that's going to go away. That's in the pile of stuff that's coming out because my binder's too big. Okay, I don't know why. At some point, it seemed like a good idea to have Addict in my DM's binder, but that's not anything I'm ever going to reference at the game table. Okay. I am obsessive, obviously, and I got this idea in my head. And the idea was, what if I take all of the classes, what if I take all the classes in the player's handbook and I put them all on one combat table so that So you don't have the way the DMG is. You have 4 combat tables: one for fighters and their subclasses, clerics, thieves, and magic users and their subclasses. So you have 4 combat tables in the DMG. But I thought, well, I could just take one combat table and then on the side I can put all the classes, so I have it all in one combat table. And then I went beyond that. And then I put in all of the classes from Oriental Adventures, and I put in all the classes from not the joke classes. I don't think I did the joke classes. But I put in all the classes from Dragon Magazine. Let's see. Core, Dragon. Yeah. So I have this huge, like if you go down the list, here's Fighter. Here's all the Fighter subclasses. Thief, all the Thief subclasses. What's this? Magic user, cleric's in there somewhere. I must have flipped past it. Anyway, I've got a mega combat table. And I also, my original goal was to put armor, weapon versus armor class in here, but it's just too much. It's too much. But I did list all the different kinds of armor that each armor class represents, because the tables in the books don't show that, and it goes all the way to powered armor plus shield. Like there's powered armor in Expedition to the Barrier Peak. Yeah, if you have that plus shield, you're down to -1 armor class. But good luck finding a suit of powered armor. Anyway, yeah, so I put it all on here. Got, all the different kinds of armor. Yeah, okay. Anyway, that's my mega combat table that I made with like all the classes from Dragon Magazine and all the official AD&D classes. I learned a lot of the game, by the way, when I made that table. Okay, next I have so I have a section here of naval rules, because in my campaign we started with U1, Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. The 3rd or 4th session, the group conquered or captured the Sea Ghost, and all of a sudden I've got, holy cow, my players have a ship.
Yeah.
So as a DM, I'm like, they can go anywhere, and I need to be prepared. I need to know when to roll for encounters. I need to know how ships work according to the rules. Not going to go into the whole thing. Maybe it'd be a video for itself. But I went through AD&D modules, rule books, and just the official stuff. I had to use some original D&D to fill in some of the holes. But I put in all the rules for ship, for fighting on ships, for fighting between ships, for traveling in ships, the speed they go in combat, the speed they go per day in different, whether they're on a river or in the ocean or on a lake in different weather. I put it all into one document. I've shared this online, and of course I printed it and I stuck it in my, this is one, it's not homebrew, it's all official AD&D rules. There were some things I had to go back to original D&D to find. Article here from Dragon number 6. It gives you a table that where you can roll and see if a merchant ship is lost, or how much money it makes. Like, say the characters want to, the characters own a merchant ship, but they want to send it out.
Yeah.
So, or they want to just operate merchant ships. You get a rich character who wants to operate merchant ships. This gives you rules for that. It's probably for original D&D. This is probably for original D&D, but you can use it for AD&D. I needed a way to roll. So what happened in our campaign is the players used the ship for quite a while. They hired a crew. They ran into the problem of it's not cheap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We couldn't level up because we just didn't have any money. We were all broke. So
Yeah. There you go. They were finding treasure, but they weren't finding enough treasure to level up, to pay for training to level up.
Yeah.
So you hire the crew. It costs you X amount of money per month. Plus, you've got to pay for all their weapons and equipment. Everything else comes with that. Plus, they get collectively a 36% share of everything the party does with the ship.
Yeah.
That's what they expect.
Rough.
So every time the party went out with the ship and came back with a bunch of treasure, 36% of it was given to the crew. Yeah. So they finally said, "This sucks. We're going out getting 1,000 gold pieces, and we come back and we're left with like 600 gold pieces that we have to split 10 ways.
Yeah.
All of our money's gone."
Yeah.
So they decided to charter the ship, and the ship is now gone, and the captain of the ship is now paying them 300 gold pieces a month to use the Sea Ghost.
Well, we'll see.
I already let that slip. Yeah, I rolled. So I used this table. I rolled to see if every month I'm rolling to see if the ship is lost, and I'm using this table from Dragon number 6.
All right.
This is another table that AD&D doesn't give you treasure tables for shipping, for ships. It gives you treasure tables for merchant caravans, but not merchant ships. So there's an article here, Dragon number 12, that gives you treasure tables for ships.
Cool.
Boom. I got it. Okay, this is from a blog. This is really long, but I printed it because I don't like looking at things on a screen, and it's somebody else's version of AD&D rules for waterborne travel. It's called Oops, I'm at Sea. I pulled it off of a blog, corwin.net or sinister.net. D&D.sin. Anyway, this is off of a blog. I did not write this. This author used things besides AD&D, though. He used a lot of Beckme stuff. I think he even used some second edition stuff to just add and add and add. And this is interesting, but I don't think I would use it. It's interesting, but I don't think I would use it. He adds too much stuff that's not AD&D for my taste, but it's still really cool. Anyway, I printed it off. It's many, many pages. I mean, he's got encounter tables. It's cool. It's called Oops, I'm at Sea. If you Google it, you can probably find it. And it's long. It's 50-some pages. 57 pages? 50 with an appendix on the back. 58 pages long. So anyway, this can come out of my binder. Yeah. I'll leave it for now. I can take this out. Because I'm never going to use it. So I should take it out. I'll just do it right now. I mean, it'll go in my second binder when I start it, but okay. Go on. Wow, that cleared a lot of space. Okay. Next, I have equipment. I have an expanded equipment list. Again, stuff I found on the internet. This is interesting. This is from Pegasus Magazine number 10 in 1982. It's a bunch of silly stuff, and I think it's kind of cool. So I throw it on the table when my players go shopping. A padded bench, a whistle, a wooden keg, a bowstring. There's a whole bunch of weird. A cage, an armchair, a purse, a cauldron, a cloth napkin. How much does a cloth napkin cost?
Gotta get a cloth napkin.
Yeah.
We need 4
horseshoes. Yeah, in case you just need to buy horseshoes.
You can buy a nightstand.
Isn't that cool? It's 2 pages. It's sandals. You want to buy a pair of sandals? Here you go. Yeah. I mean,
I gotta go to the beach.
The book only has boots. The player's handbook only has boots. But what if you want sandals? Well, we got it. Yeah, lye soap. You want to buy a bar of lye soap? That would be kind of
That would be fun.
Funny if like one character handed another character a bar
bar
of
of
lye
soap,
soap. Yeah. Anyway, I like this. It's from Pegasus Magazine number 10. It was put out by Judges Guild. They went bankrupt a few issues after this one, but Pegasus Magazine's full of cool stuff. So anyway, so this section is equipment. Again, my players go shopping. They go to 10, they go shopping. I can just throw this out, or I can at least look at it and say, this is how much this costs, that cost. I found this online somewhere, another equipment list. I don't know. It's teeny tiny font. I don't know where I found it. Copyright. Oh, Hawk. Oh, the guy who did Gunderhalfen, I think. Yeah, the author of Gunderhalfen made that. Okay, and then this is off of Dragon's Foot, an encumbrance guide. How much does everything weigh? So you're trying to figure out what your encumbrance is. I can just toss this on the table, and you can just look. Okay, my boots weigh this much.
That's nice.
My torches weigh this much.
All
right?
the weights in coin weight.
Yeah, it's coin weight. So you just have to multiply by 10 to get pounds.
That's not a big deal.
I find it easier to use pounds, but I don't like how the game sometimes uses coin weight and sometimes uses pound weight.
Yeah.
Pick one or the other. I just use pound weight.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. You just take coin weight and multiply by 10 to get pounds.
Yeah.
But pick one or the other. Why you have two different systems? Anyway, that's just me. Okay, so that's my little section on equipment. Players want to go shopping. This is the part that needs to come out. It's a section. Ethan and I were trying to run a solo campaign a long time ago before I started running. And before we started playing in the OSE campaign that we're playing in.
Was it before that we started?
Yeah, it's pretty much after we started playing that we quit doing our solo game. The only reason we were doing our solo game is because we didn't have an in-person game. What?
A while ago.
Yeah, it's been a few years. It's been a while. So I can take all this out. The strategic review number 1, spring 1975, Gary Gygax, and I even highlighted it, wrote a whole article about solo playing D&D. Folks, this goes all the way back to 1975, right?
Yeah.
There's people who put down solo play, but sometimes you have to, and people were doing it from the very beginning. People were solo wargaming before D&D was invented. Yeah. So anyway, I can take this out now. I don't need it. Really what it is, it's a way to roll up treasure and to generate a dungeon. If you don't have a DM, just creating a dungeon.
Yeah.
If you're just playing solo and you need to generate a dungeon, that's what it is. But I don't need it anymore. This is an article by Roger Moore from Polyhedron number 15 in 1983. Again, it's a really good article. I highlighted important parts of it. It's about solo playing AD&D. So if you are solo playing AD&D, check this out. I found it very interesting. He's got some things in here about gladiatorial combat and stuff, if I remember right, that I wouldn't use, but it's interesting. It's an interesting thing to read if you're trying to solo AD&D. So I printed it, stuck it in here. I don't need it for my current campaign, so that whole section is gone. This section will come out too. One of the problems we had with our solo campaign was we needed a good way to generate a town because we were generating hexes using the DMG, and every now and then you'd come upon a settlement. Also, you need your starting town.
Yeah.
But I have not found a good way to generate a settlement for AD&D. There's lots of stuff, but none of them work. None of them are the all-in-one, everything you need right here solution. Yeah. None of them. Some of them are really good, but they're missing things that you need.
Yeah.
And some of them are just ridiculous. Like a D6 table where everything has the exact same chance of happening. Like you have the exact same chance of finding a megalopolis as you do finding a thorp. You know, there should be for every megalopolis, there should be about 2,000, 3,000 thorps, right? So, so why on earth, so you see a table, and I've seen that. You see a table.
You enter a hex, and all of a sudden,
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine if you're just randomly rolling, but it should make sense. Like, there shouldn't be the exact same number of megacities as there are little tiny hamlets.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I keep finding. Anyway, long story short, it's already long. There are problems with all the tables, but I don't know. I just started printing, compiling, reading all these different sources. One day, I would like to actually sit down, take everything that makes sense, and make a good settlement generator for AD&D. It would also be useful for basic and original D&D, but one of these days I'd like to do that, but it's a major project. I haven't even started on it. So this is from Dragon number 8, the development of towns in D&D. This is from the Dungeoneer's Journal. I don't have the number, but in December 1980. Resources. You can randomly determine what resources are being produced in a village or a town. It's, again, interesting, but not perfect. This is a great series of articles by Paul Vernon that was in White Dwarf, starting with issue 29 and going to like issue 35, I think, in 1982. So this is Designing Society for D&D. Really good stuff, but it's like mostly blocks of text. And again, here's number 2. It was a serial, so there's 2 parts of Designing a Society, and then the next one was designing and running towns and villages, and that was 3 parts that started in White Dwarf 31. These are all from White Dwarf. Really good, but again, look, it's just blocks of text. It's not something. It's full of great information. It's just I need bullet points. I need tables. I need it to be in a format. It's also teeny tiny font.
Yeah.
White Dwarf magazines, they're limited to how many pages they can print. So they used to use really small font. This is like 6 or 7 point font. They used to use tiny font to cram as much into each issue as they could. So the first 100 issues of White Dwarf are fantastic. After that, they're like, you can buy them on eBay like 20 for like 20 for $5. Like, they're virtually worthless. But White Dwarf up to like issue 95-ish, 96-ish has tons of good stuff in it. It's still around. It's just useless unless you play Warhammer. It's completely useless. So if you do play Warhammer, maybe it's useful to you, but it doesn't seem to be, because I find them on, like, people sell stacks of them for just a few dollars on eBay. Like, they're worthless. Okay, but the old stuff, great stuff. Anyway, okay, all of that can come out. Moving on, this is from Variant Magazine. It was a zine done by, I can't remember his name, Riley. His last name was Riley. I can't think of his first name. Darn it. Anyway, it's done by a guy named Riley in upstate New York. It was a zine called Variant. This is from Variant number 9, and he had an article on townsmen, random encounters in fantasy towns. So I printed it off. It's just village, towns, cities, and what kind of people you find. Stuck it in here. Another article on generating cities from Dragon 136 in 1988. That's right before second edition came out, so this would be AD&D. We've talked about this before. It's not great, but anyway. Okay, all that city generation stuff can come out. I don't need that at the table when I'm running my game. Okay, this I think is kind of cool. The guy who did the Oops, I'm at Sea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I printed it off. Oops, I'm Ethereal. if for some reason a character becomes ethereal, he goes through everything. Like he's got a little guide here. It's not real long. How the spells work, random encounters, basically what happens if you become ethereal.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I stuck it in here. It's useful, I believe. I mean, he wrote it for AD&D, but for references, some of the things are second edition. Some of the things are BECMI. So he pulls from other versions of D&D for his AD&D stuff. So yeah, I'm more of an AD&D purist, but I will pull from other places if I need to. Like
with the naval rules from AD&D.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't find it anywhere else.
AD&D has the movement rates for just traveling, but it doesn't have the movement rates for combat. And, you have to have the movement rates for combat.
Yeah.
So those are in original D&D. And they never got carried forward to AD&D. They just got missed, I guess.
Yeah.
So I just used the rules from OD&D.
Cool.
And AD&D is a direct descendant. It's the son of original D&D, so it's fine. To me, it's fine. But I don't want to I don't really want to put a lot of second edition stuff in my game. Not rules, anyway. Because, they made like 300 rule books in AD&D for second edition, and I'm not going to go crazy trying to add all that. Oh, wait. Okay. All right. So that's in my binder. What happens if my characters become ethereal? I thought it was interesting enough to stick in my binder. What is this? Oh, these are some character downtime things. Or actually, this is not downtime, but things that I think are really cool. This is called Seeing the Light. It's in White Dwarf number 44. There was an earlier article, I think, in White Dwarf 21. But the idea is if you are a cleric, a paladin, a druid, then you're a religious person. You're a devoted religious person. And you should be trying to get other people to follow your religion or your deity. Right?
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't have to be evangelistic all the time, but... Yeah, it depends on the deity, it depends on the religion, but it just seems to me that if you're a cleric, you want to spread your religion. So people made rules for that. So these are rules for conversion. If you're a cleric, a druid, a paladin, you can try to convert somebody else, an NPC, even a monster. It gives you rules in teeny tiny 5-point font. It's all on one page, but it's tiny. So I think I'm going to type this out in 12-point font and lay it out in a way that's easier to go step by step. But this is cool. And I've told my players, if you have a cleric or a druid or whatever, and the reward is if you successfully convert somebody, you get experience points as if you had defeated them in battle. The downside is, if you fail, they might convert you to their religion. If you're a cleric, it's really bad. Yeah, if you...
That's not good.
Yeah, your deity is going to come after you. It's really not good. Yeah. Plus, if your alignment switches, that's bad news in AD&D. But anyway, if you got a cleric... anyway, okay. Yeah, so... Okay. So that's in my binder because I haven't had a player use it. I haven't used it, but it would be a lot of fun, I think. These are downtime rules from the same guy who did Oops This and Oops That. It's called Oops, I've Stolen Something. I really like it. Not everything on his blog is great, but he's got a good blog. Corwin.net, I believe. Anyway, dude has a good blog. This one's called Oops, I've Stolen Something. If you have a thief with downtime, they can either go pickpocketing or they can try to pull off a heist. And he did something here that is very, very smart. He took the relevant thief skills. He threw out the ones that aren't relevant, like Well, here, I can't find it. As soon as I'm looking for something, I can't find it. But he took out, okay, so this is like a random table, things you find when you go picking pockets. Or if you fail, there's tables here. You could get caught, maybe you run away, maybe you're seen, maybe you're not seen. He's got, yeah. So, cool. Anyway, burglary, this is the whole thing where you pull off a heist. Now, he's very smart. There's 3 different ways that you could do this. Mm-hmm. And he recognized you can use the assassin's table for assassinations. You could use the assassin's spying table, or you could use the thief functions, the thief skills. But some of the thief skills, like picking pockets and reading languages, and they hear noise, they're not necessarily going to help you pull off a heist. Yeah. So he took the average of like open locks, finding traps, miming silently, hiding in shadows, climbing walls. He took the average of those to come up with a table of chance of success for pulling off a heist. And you can pick a simple, a difficult, or an extraordinary one. And there's modifiers for race. There's modifiers for dexterity. This is really cool. There's a modifier if you're a member of the Thieves Guild. And then he goes through what you're going to find. What if you're successful, depending on how hard the heist is, what you're going to find. And then if you're unsuccessful, what happens? Are you caught? Or do you escape? Are you thrown in jail? Are you just thrown on the stocks for a day? Yeah. It's all in here. I think it's really cool. And I put it out there for my players. If they have a thief who has like a week of downtime, like if you have a character who just isn't being played because you're playing another character, well, the calendar is still progressing. What's your character doing? You're a thief. Would you like to go try to pull off a heist? I've got these tables, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. I shouldn't show that. Okay, so, all right, wait a minute. All right, the next section is stuff that I'm running that, like, I don't have the module that, like, separately that I'm bringing to the table. I can't show any of it. It's, there's a 6-page module. Yeah.
I can walk.
Yeah, you'll see it. Okay. Hold on a sec.
Walk away.
Hold on a sec. Okay, it's over. Okay. All right, so there's a few locations that I found online that are perfect for like putting into our campaign. Yeah. For example, we kept having goblins come up. We had a random encounter of some goblins, and later on we had an old Jaquays module that starts off with some goblins pulling off a robbery. I needed to figure out for the campaign where the goblins are coming from. So I found a goblin camp online. I printed it off and I used it last session. Yeah. You're smiling. Yeah. You want to say anything?
It was a fun session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They slaughtered.
Turns out that the call lightning spell is pretty awesome when it's cloudy, and also when there's a quarry full of goblins. What was it? It was a wand that had move earth, dig,
and that's
mud and stone and mud to stone.
That's from Horror in the Hools.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's from the other module.
And we just wrecked them.
Anyway, we're not going to get into talking about our last session, but it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
The party did something totally insane to take down like a tribe of almost 200 goblins.
Yeah.
It's not resolved because the session ended. The session ended after the battle was over. They have not yet found any treasures, and there's still a cave full of wargs there's still 2 caves.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Back to the DM's Binder. This whole section here, I just keep a sleeve with all the maps and sort of player handout stuff. Whoops, that shouldn't be there. Yeah, maps, player handout stuff. Some of these are my maps. I don't show the players. But some of the dungeon mapping that the players have been doing, I hold on to it. Yeah, so I've got a section of that right here. I'll put it back later. Now, I made this so I could, to help me track segments, just using tabs for like the movement part. Like you roll to find out what segment you start on, and then you're going to have movement, and then you're going to have archery, and then you're going to have melee, and then you're going to have like wands take I think 2 segments, so wands would go off here. I made this just to help me track segments during combat, but then I found something better. Again, I don't remember where I found it, but it's an AD&D round track. Oh, did I make it myself? I think I made this. I made this. What do I mean? I didn't find it. I made it. Yeah. So I made my own, where I can list up to 20 monsters and up to 10 player characters. And then I can check off, like I can mark what round, like this is round 1, round 2, round 3. I can mark what segment they're starting in. So I can mark, okay, so they rolled a 4 in their initiative, so they're going to start segment 4. They rolled a 6, they're going to start segment 6. And then I know, like, when the spells are going to go off. I can easily see, like say this character number 5 is a spellcaster. I can mark when his spell's going to go off because I know how many segments it takes. I made that myself, and I've used it. Okay, and then that's it. And then we're into the back pocket of my DM binder. And this is not me saying you need to have all this stuff, or you're doing it wrong. This is not me saying that this is perfect. There's probably other things that I should have in my DM binder. If you know of anything that would be cool to stick in my DM binder, please put it in the comments because I'm always looking for ideas. Can't get anything straight. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to line it all up with the camera. All right. So here's the back pocket. This I just found on a blog on Substack today or yesterday and printed off. I think I'm going to use it. It's a nice little time tracker, just marking off turns, torches. There's a lot of these online. But a lot of them I don't really like. They're kind of set up in a confusing way, or they're missing things. This is a great way. It looks like, I'm going to try it. It looks like a great way to mark off and also to track when the torches are happening, and when the torches are going out, when the lanterns are going out. Yeah. So I'm going to try to use this. And then we're into my filled out adventure logs. We're on session 20. We just finished session 22. So I haven't filled out a log for it yet. This is session 21. I don't want to show too much, but yeah, these are all going back to session number 1. These are all of my adventure logs, and I keep them right here. And I need to fill out the one for my last adventure, for my last session. And that's it. Okay, how did I do? I took a lot of stuff out of. Much better. Much better. Now I've got room. That's my DM binder. Any thoughts? Anything you want to say before we click end?
I don't know. It's pretty cool. I didn't realize that you had all of the solo campaign stuff also in there.
Yeah. I mean, what else was I going to do with it?
I don't know.
So I stuck it on I kept sticking things in my DM binder, but I don't need this. I don't need all this stuff at the game table. I want it.
It's cool, but it's not.
It's going to have to go into the other binder. I'm going to have another binder of, like, we'll call it AD&D projects. It'll be my project binder.
Well, this is like, its main purpose is like as a reference binder while you're running a game.
Exactly.
And it doesn't really work if you've got it with stuff in it that isn't easily referenceable.
And it's ridiculous that I have like eight different DM screens printed off. I don't need 8 different DM screens printed off, but whatever. It's all right. Whatever. I mean, it shouldn't be hard for me to find a combat table.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like in the DMG,
You've got lots of them.
It's in the middle of the DMG. You got to open it up. You got to flip to the middle of the DMG, find the right page. No, I got it right here. Where's the
you also have your like unified combat table
I do.
in there as well.
I do, but so far nobody's playing any of those other. I could use it. The problem is the combat table is so big that I made. It's like 4 or 5 pages. I could use it.
But it's so big.
I can't shrink the font enough to get it all onto one page. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I can't get it all onto one page, and you want your table to be all on one page.
So you just need to print it
or
on
two
like
at the
a
most.
poster. You need a poster.
Yeah, right. On the wall behind me while I'm DMing.
Yeah,
but I can't do that because I'm running my game at a game cafe. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Any other words? Okay, that's my DM binder. Make a video. Show us your DM binder if you haven't done it. Your AD&D DM binder. Nobody wants to see your pirate board binder. You probably don't even have one. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Or should we edit that out? No. Who cares? Yeah, this is my AD&D DM binder. Hey, you can tell me in the comments how horrible my binder is and how stupid it is, if you want to, or if there's something that you think I should put in my binder that I don't have, let me know in the comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, game on.
Game on.